Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mandy. So this channel is mainly about learning Chinese, Chinese writing, and Chinese culture. So I believe a lot of you who's watching this video are my subscribers, or if you're new here, then be my subscribers. Yeah, a lot of you might learning Chinese or practicing Hanzi. And if you are learning Hanzi, I believe that you are learning Hanzi in a very proper way and write it in a very standard looking like this. I know, learning Hanzi can be very complicated, and to write a standard Hanzi like this is not easy. But the worst part is, when you see Chinese handwriting, it's like this. It looks so different from the standard writing. Actually, the two pictures that I just showed you, they are writing the same thing, but just in different script. The upper one is standard, the bottom one is cursive and casual. So you might be like, I spent so much time practicing Hanzi, and finally I can write some standard, beautiful, easy to recognize Hanzi. And then you show me this Chinese, cursive, casual, whatever that is, handwriting. So yeah, it really just breaks my heart. I really appreciate that you learn Hanzi in such a proper way and you write it in a very beautiful, standard way like this. But I have to admit that I already get used to write Hanzi in a very casual, cursive way. Yeah. So to help you to understand why Chinese people write like this, how Chinese people write like this, and how to recognize and how to write like native Chinese, I decided to make this video. So in today's video, I'm going to show you some keys to recognize the Chinese casual handwritings and some keys to write like a Chinese. So first of all, we need to understand that everyone have their own handwriting style. So not everyone will write the cursive, casual, cannot recognize that type of Hanzi. I simply categorize the handwriting into 3 types. So, types of handwriting. Style. So the first type, of course, it's very standard. For example, let's try to write ni, like ni hao, the ni. The standard one, you goes sharp and clean. Okay, it's very sharp and very clean. And the second type, I would say it's very round and cute, especially girls. Like girls, we like to write it a little bit round and cute, like this. See, it's a little bit round, especially the hook. It's a round corner. Like this one, it's very sharp, and this one is rounded. And the third type is casual and cursive. So I'll show you. This is how I write it. So you see it's not stroke by stroke. You see the stroke are connected and it's really fast. Since the standard and round way is easy to recognize, I don't think we need to spend a lot of time to study this. The difficult part is how to recognize the casual and cursive version. So in this video, we're going to talk about this version in details. Before we learn how to write the character in the cursive way, we have to understand why people want to write it in the cursive and casual way. So that's the reason, which is very important. So from my experience, there's only 2 reasons. And reason number 1 is to write it faster, because Hanzi is very complicated and it might take you a very long time to write a sentence. But if you write it in a casual and cursive way, it saves you a lot of time. And the second reason is it look cool. It kind of showed your personality. Now let's get to the real business. Here are some rules to write casual and cursive handwriting. From my experience, there's only one very important rules. That is the connection between strokes. But you have to make sure you maintain the structure. Let me show you some example. Let's write some Hanzi. For example, we write 1, 2, 3, the 3, the 3 for Hanzi. In a standard way, we go 1, 2, 3. There are 3 strokes, okay? And now we need the connection between the stroke. So we go 1, 2, 3. See? Here is the little bit of connection between this and here. Let's try it again. But okay, it kind of looked like 3 now. Here is another very important thing is the stroke is heavy and the connection is light. Okay, remember this? Let's take san, for example. The san, so we got 1, 2, 3, 3 stroke. So these little things, let me use the red, and this little thing, this is the connection parts. So when you write the 3 stroke, 1, 2, 3, it should be heavy. And as for the connection, it should be light. You cannot write it like 1, 2, 3. It's like all of them that equally heavy. And you should write it like 1, and then a bit light to here, and then again, and then light, and then here. Okay, I hope it makes sense to you. Let me give you another example. Let's write the 大小, the 大. To write it in a very standard way, it's 1, 2, 3. Sharp and clean. To connect it, we write 1. See, you feel like it's going this way, and then 2, and then going back to this way, 3. If you write it real quick, see, you can see the little connection right here and here, because it goes like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it just like this. And let's try something a little bit more complicated. Let's try it 水, water. So write it in a very standard way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 水. Okay? And to connect it, 1, 2, 3. To write it real quick, see? So you can feel the little connection right here. Okay, let's try the last one. Let's try to write 我 Okay? To write it in a very standard way, we write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's try to connect all the stroke in a very natural way. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let me try to write it in a very quick way. That is, so you see, here is the little connection. And when you are writing the character, you kind of have to flow with the stroke. I know learning Hanzi is complicated enough. Now you're talking about the cursive way to write it. It's even more complicated. And yes, I agree with that. And it did take me a long time to practice it. And it just comes naturally because once you want to write Hanzi faster, then you have to figure out a way to write the cursive Hanzi. And to write the cursive Hanzi, there is one very important condition, is that you have to understand the stroke order. Because take the Wo, for example, the stroke order of this, it's always the first one, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. You kind of follow the order. So the whole structure, it's kind of like this, and then to this, and then to this, and then to this. Okay, so you follow the order. When you want to write faster, you just write it with the order. But if you don't follow the order, like one stroke here, and then the other one here, and then maybe take one here, and then one here, and then one here, and then one here, and then one here. So there is no flow in the character. So when you want to write faster, it goes like, okay, like it's kind of messy. Yeah. Okay, so you've been talking about writing casual and cursive Hanzi can make you write faster. Is it true? Is it really helped you to write faster? So I'm going to do a test. I'm going to write an exact same sentence in 2 different ways. The first one is the standard way, and the second one is the cursive and casual way. And I will time it. Okay? So that sentence I'm going to write is 今天我去超市买了一些鸡蛋、肉和蔬菜. Like this sentence. And I'm not going to speed up or anything, and I put my clock right here. And let's see how long it's going to take to write every sentence. Okay, so now let's get started. The first type, standard. Okay, let's start. Okay, so now this is 46.9 seconds. Okay, so this is the standard way. And now I'm going to write the cursive and casual way. Let's see how long it's going to take. Let's start. Okay, so it take 26.69 seconds. It saves half of the time. So that's why we try so hard to learn to write some cursive and casual script. Well, that's pretty much about today's video. It's just a casual, simple introduction of native Chinese casual cursive handwriting. I hope it makes sense to you. This is not something you have to learn, but it might be helpful if you got some Chinese friend and maybe they will write something to you. I don't know. I'm just make this video to show you how we write cursive handwriting. Yeah, I believe maybe some of you will be wondering, is handwriting still important in modern life? Because we all use computer and phones. We don't really pick up a pen and write. Yeah, I have to admit that when everything's digitalized, then it seems like handwriting is less important. But in my opinion, I think handwriting is still very important in my everyday life, and I don't think improving handwriting is something old-fashioned or outdated. Instead, I think improving my handwriting is a way to build me up and help me to find inner peace. Because, in Chinese, we have a saying, 字如其人, which means someone's handwriting is the reflection of someone's personality. And another thing is, I think handwriting is also very important for Chinese calligraphy because, we have a strong calligraphy culture. I'm not an expert, and I still want to show you some of my pieces. I believe that I've showed some of my pieces in my last video, but I want to show it again. And they look like this. Yeah, I spent a lot of time on this. Actually, I really enjoy practicing Chinese calligraphy, and it's a way to release my stress. So yeah, I think handwriting is still very important for me and for Chinese culture. Well, that's all for today's video. I hope it makes sense to you. And if you have any questions or idea, then feel free to drop your thoughts in my comment section. And I'm Mandy. I'll see you in the next video.